riding along at night and you meet a German dispatch rider coming the other way and you swap tyres and magnetos with him.
There's always a moment to have a deal in any situation, you know that, come on.
Sam Lovegrove, known for his amazing skills with engines and his unique lovable personality, quickly became a fan favorite alongside Henry Cole on Shed and Buried. But if you've been following the show, you might have noticed Sam suddenly vanished from the screen. There were no official updates or goodbye episodes. Fans were left asking, did he leave the show for good? Was he dealing with health issues? Could he be coming back? His sudden absence led to lots of rumors and unanswered questions. In this video, we're digging into the real story behind Sam Lovegrove's disappearance. What happened? Why did he leave? And where is he now? Stay tuned as we uncover the facts and try to get to the bottom of what really happened to Sam Lovegrove. The making of a mechanical genius. Not much is known about Sam Lovegrove's formative years, mostly because he prefers to keep his private life out of the spotlight. He's not the kind of person who brags or talks much about himself, but from the few details that have surfaced, it's clear that Sam's journey into the world of machines started very early and very differently from most kids. He grew up in the quiet countryside of the West Country in England, a place known for its rolling hills and old-world charm. While other children were outside kicking footballs or riding bikes for fun, young Sam was in the shed, getting his hands dirty with engines. He'd pull apart old motorcycles, examine every nut and bolt, and figure out how to put them back together. What seemed like a hobby to others was really the beginning of something extraordinary. Even before he had a formal education, Sam had already become a self-taught expert in how machines worked. His curiosity was endless, and so was his patience. He didn't just want to fix things, he wanted to understand them from the inside out. By the time he was a teenager, he had already restored several bikes, learning from experience what most people only got from books. In school, Sam had a clear talent for numbers and logic. He stood out in subjects like mathematics and physics, which only fueled his love for mechanical systems. Eventually, he went on to study mechanical engineering at Oxford Brookes University. He graduated with honors, but even that impressive achievement wasn't the full story. Sam's real education didn't come from a classroom. It came from years of working with his hands. He had a rare gift, the ability to blend textbook theory with real-world skill. While others needed manuals and diagrams, Sam could simply look at a machine and know what it needed. That unique talent landed him a job at Gemini Accident Repair Centers, where he started his career solving tough mechanical problems and restoring motorcycles with incredible precision. From there, Sam's career soared. He became part of elite engineering teams, working on high-performance vehicles that most people only dream about. He took part in projects for Honda, helping develop engineering masterpieces like the NSX and the powerful Corvette C7.R. These weren't just fast cars, they were high-tech machines designed for peak performance, and Sam was one of the quiet forces behind their creation. Big names in the car world took notice. Companies like Aston Martin, Jaguar, and Lotus brought Sam in to help with their most challenging designs. He wasn't a flashy character, but his work spoke louder than words. Within the tight-knit world of automotive engineering, Sam Lovegrove gained a reputation as the man who could solve problems others couldn't. He made complicated systems run like clockwork. Then, one day at a car show in London, everything was about to change. In the middle of vintage engines, curious crowds, and the hum of classic motors, Sam Lovegrove crossed paths with Henry Cole. a moment that would quietly set the stage for a whole new chapter in Sam's life. It wasn't some grand event. It was just one of those rare, lucky meetings that seem to happen when the right people are in the right place at the right time. Henry, already a well-known TV presenter and motorcycle enthusiast, immediately noticed something different about Sam. He wasn't just another engineer. He was a man who understood machines on a whole other level. Sam had no ego, no flash, just raw talent, a quiet charm, and a deep knowledge that spoke louder than words. So, what was that meeting like? Was it worth it? A life-changing meeting. Sometimes, the best friendships start with a shared obsession. And for Sam Lovegrove and Henry Cole, that obsession was vintage motorcycles and old vehicles with stories to tell. Before the cameras, before the fame, their worlds crossed paths the old-fashioned way, at motorcycle events and classic car shows scattered across the UK. These were places filled with the scent of old oil, the clink of spanners, and the hum of engines from another time. Sam, the quiet mechanical genius, and Henry, the charismatic presenter with a deep love for bikes, kept running into each other. Eventually, the conversations turned into friendship, and that friendship would take them places neither expected. They were an unlikely duo. Henry Cole had already made a name for himself as a passionate motorcycle enthusiast and television host. Sam, on the other hand, had stayed mostly behind the scenes, known in elite circles for his brilliant engineering mind, but unknown to the public. But when Henry met Sam, he saw something special. Not just a man who could fix anything, but someone who was real, funny, and relatable without even trying. Henry invited Sam to join him on the motorbike show. It wasn't a big production, just two guys talking about bikes, but the moment Sam appeared on screen, viewers were hooked. There was no ego, no performance. Sam spoke about machines like they were old friends, and people loved it. He didn't talk over anyone's head. He made complicated restorations sound simple, not because they were, but because he believed anyone could learn if they loved it enough. That spark between them, the easy friendship, the shared laughs, and their deep love for engines was too good to keep behind the scenes. It naturally grew into something much bigger. What started as two passionate gearheads bonding over bikes and vintage machines soon turned into a television show that captured the hearts of viewers everywhere. But what was this show really about? And how did they turn dusty sheds and rusty engines into must-watch TV? The rise to fame, from workshop to the small screen. Sam Lovegrove never set out to be famous. He was a man happiest in the garage, surrounded by tools, tinkering with old engines and bringing forgotten machines back to life. But fate had other plans. His rise to fame began when he teamed up with fellow vintage vehicle enthusiast and television presenter Henry Cole. What started as a shared passion soon turned into a television partnership that would make both men household names in the world of classic car and motorcycle restoration. Their big break came with the TV show Shed and Buried. The concept was simple, but it struck a chord with audiences. Travel across the UK, knock on doors, peek inside dusty sheds and barns, and uncover hidden mechanical treasures. These weren't museum pieces, they were rusted tractors, forgotten motorcycles, and vintage cars left to decay. But where others saw junk, Sam saw potential. With steady hands and years of experience, he brought these machines back from the dead. It didn't take long for viewers to fall in love with the show and with Sam. His quiet confidence, deep technical knowledge, and love for the work stood in perfect contrast to Henry Cole's energetic charm. The chemistry between the two was natural and real. Henry brought excitement and storytelling, while Sam brought calm precision and insight. Together, they struck a balance that kept people watching episode after episode. What made Sam so appealing was that he wasn't trying to impress anyone. He didn't use fancy words or act like a celebrity. He explained things in a way everyone could understand, showing the process without ego or fuss. People related to him because he was authentic, just a regular guy doing what he loved and doing it brilliantly. As Shed and Buried grew in popularity, Sam's role on TV expanded. Fans looked forward to seeing what he would restore next and how he would solve complex mechanical problems with a quiet smile and a well-placed wrench. He wasn't just a mechanic anymore, he was a television star. But he never acted like one. That down-to-earth nature, combined with incredible skill, made Sam a standout in the world of automotive television. Across 6 seasons, and now a 7th launched on June 3, 2025, the show has grown to 85 episodes, each 30 minutes long. Fans keep coming back, not just for the restorations, but for the connection between Henry and Sam, and the sense that every dusty barn holds a new adventure. There were unforgettable moments. In Leicester, they discovered a rare 1962 Greaves Sportsman motorcycle. Most people would have seen a lost cause, a pile of rust. Not Sam. He saw the frame, the bones, the history, and with his patient hands, he brought it back to roaring life. In Cornwall, he tackled a Ferguson TE20 tractor that looked like it hadn't run in decades. Slowly and skillfully, he rebuilt it from scratch, turning it into something not just functional, but beautiful. And in Northern Ireland, on a quiet, wind-blown farm, Sam unearthed a buried military Land Rover. He didn't just fix it, he honored it. Every bolt, every scratch, every design detail was preserved as a tribute to the vehicle's past. Sam had a gift. He could walk into a cluttered shed, glance at a dusty pile of parts, and instantly know what was worth saving. He didn't make a fuss or draw attention to himself. He just got to work. Viewers were amazed by how calm and methodical he was solving problems others couldn't, all while making it look almost effortless. After the success of Shed and Buried, Sam and Henry weren't ready to slow down. Their next project, Find It, Fix It, Drive It, gave them a fresh adventure and an even bigger stage to share their passion. The idea was just as exciting. Track down rare and damaged vintage vehicles, bring them back to life, and then take them for a spin across the UK. But this time, it wasn't just about restoration. It was about the thrill of the open road. Once the repairs were done, Sam and Henry would hop into the finished vehicle and test it out in real-world conditions. Whether it was a classic motorcycle roaring down country lanes or a vintage car winding through scenic roads, the show captured the joy of not just fixing machines, but driving them, feeling their power, and connecting with their history. Again, the heart of the show was the friendship between Sam and Henry. Their banter was effortless. Henry would often dive headfirst into wild ideas and road trips, while Sam kept things grounded with technical know-how and quiet humor. Their roles were clear but equally important. And together, they created a show that wasn't just about grease and gears. It was about storytelling and about friendship, adventure, and craftsmanship. Sam's ability to take a rusty, broken machine and turn it into something beautiful, and then ride it like it was brand new, continued to impress fans and fellow gearheads alike. Through the show, Sam Lovegrove became more than just a name in the credits. He turned into something bigger, a quiet symbol of what it really means to understand machines. Not just how they work, but what they represent. But then, he vanished. No warning, no official goodbye. One season he was there, and the next gone. Fans were left confused and asking the same question. Why would someone like Sam, at the height of his popularity, step away without a word? Did something personal pull him away? Was it health, family, or burnout? Let's explore why he stepped away from the spotlight. His quiet exit. As the fourth season of Shed and Buried rolled on, loyal fans began to notice something odd. Sam Lovegrove wasn't there. His calm voice, expert touch, and quiet humor were suddenly missing from the screen. Questions quickly followed. Where was Sam? Has something happened? Would he be back? For a long time, there were no clear answers. Then, in March 2022, Henry Cole posted a video update that offered a small piece of the puzzle. He shared that Sam had been unwell. Just a bug, he said, but it had been enough to keep him from filming. Still, there were no detailed explanations. Fans were left wondering whether this absence was just temporary or if it marked the end of Sam's time on the show. What made things harder was how suddenly it all happened. One moment, Sam was uncovering rusted bikes and tractors in dusty barns, and the next, he was gone. No farewell episode, no big announcement. But if there's one thing people had learned about Sam over the years, it was that he valued his privacy. Fame had never changed him. He was never one for drama or making a fuss. If he needed to step away, he would simply do it, quietly, respectfully, and on his own terms. Despite his absence from Shed and Buried, the bond between Sam and Henry didn't fade. In fact, in November 2022, fans got a touching surprise. Henry Cole traveled to Cornwall to visit Sam, and they filmed the visit together. It wasn't a grand reunion, it was just two old friends catching up, laughing, and talking about bikes. Sam looked relaxed, happy, and very much in his element as he showed Henry what he'd been working on. The short video gave fans a reassuring glimpse of Sam's world outside of television and proved that even off-camera, his passion for vintage vehicles was still alive and well. As of now, Sam Lovegrove's future on television is uncertain. He hasn't officially returned to Shed and Buried, and it's unclear whether he'll appear in future episodes. But one thing is certain: his impact hasn't faded. Sam may have stepped back from the spotlight, but he hasn't stepped away from his craft. In workshops, tucked away in the countryside, in sheds filled with old engines and forgotten frames, he's still doing what he loves, restoring history, one machine at a time. He may not be in front of the cameras as often, but in the eyes of fans and fellow engineers, he remains a giant in the world of vintage motorcycle restoration. More than just a talented mechanic, Sam became something rare, a television personality who stayed true to himself. He never needed to perform. His authenticity, his deep knowledge, and his quiet dedication spoke louder than any scripted moment. That's why fans didn't just admire his work, they admired him. Even if we never see Sam back on screen, his influence will continue. His legacy is found not only in the motorcycles he restored, but in the inspiration he gave to thousands of viewers. That old things can be brought back to life, that real craftsmanship matters, and that you don't need to chase fame to make a difference. Whether he's on camera or alone in his quiet workshop, Sam Lovegrove is, at heart, a true craftsman. He doesn't chase fame or attention. What drives him is something much deeper. A love for old machines and the stories they carry. But when the cameras stop rolling and the TV lights go dark, is Sam's life, much the same? Sam Lovegrove's personal life and interests. Away from the cameras and bright lights, Sam Lovegrove lives a quiet, peaceful life. Though many people know him from television and his work with classic motorcycles, Sam is a private man who doesn't talk much about his personal life, and that's just how he likes it. He's married and a proud father of 4 children. Home for Sam is a cozy farmhouse in the countryside of Cornwall, far from the busy world of TV. It's there, in the calm of nature, that he's built a life focused on the things that matter most to him: family, simplicity, and machines. Behind Sam Lovegrove's peaceful country home sits a large, well-worn workshop, a place that feels more like a time machine than a garage. It's filled with tools, engine parts, and classic machines he's collected over the years. Even when there's no film crew around and no big TV project underway, Sam is usually in that shed, sleeves rolled up, hands greasy, doing what he loves most: restoring vintage bikes, quietly and carefully. But away from the cameras, Sam has achieved more than most people realize. So what exactly has he achieved? Beyond the screen, Sam Lovegrove's works. While many people know Sam Lovegrove from his time on TV, turning forgotten machines into showstoppers alongside Henry Cole, there's another side to his story, one that runs deeper than television fame. Long before the cameras ever rolled, and long after they stopped, Sam had been quietly leaving a mark in the world of engineering. Some of Sam Lovegrove's most remarkable work didn't happen in front of the camera. It took place far from the spotlight, in the world of speed, salt, and record-breaking machines. While many know Sam for his calm presence on Shed and Buried, his greatest achievement may have come on the salt flats, where motorcycles are pushed to their absolute limits. Sam joined forces with Bro Superior, one of the most legendary names in motorcycle history. Often called the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles, Bro Superior is known for building some of the finest, most luxurious, and powerful bikes in the world. And during the brand's modern comeback, Sam was right at the center of it all. Working quietly behind the scenes, he helped design a custom-built machine meant for speed and glory. A 700cc powerhouse named Baby Pendine. This sleek, finely tuned bike wasn't just for show. It was built to make history, and it did. Baby Pendine smashed expectations, setting 4 world speed records, 2 from the Fédération Internationale de Motocyclisme and 2 from the American Motorcyclist Association. It wasn't just fast, it was a symbol of precision engineering and bold design. Even Henry Cole climbed aboard and raced it across the legendary Bonneville Salt Flats, pushing the bike to speeds beyond 104 miles per hour. But while Henry was in the spotlight, it was Sam who had poured his heart into every piece of that machine. Every bolt tightened, every part tested. Sam chased perfection, not for fame, but for the pure satisfaction of getting it right. That's who Sam Lovegrove truly is. Whether in a shed fixing up a rusty old motorbike or building a world record machine with one of Britain's finest manufacturers, his focus never changes. As chief engineer, Sam wasn't just building bikes. He was crafting masterpieces. He brought a unique mix of old-school mechanical intuition and modern technical precision to the job. His crowning achievement at Bro Superior was helping design and refine the iconic SS100, a bike that blends vintage style with cutting-edge engineering. With sleek lines, a roaring engine, and the kind of attention to detail only someone like Sam could provide, the SS100 became a symbol of what modern craftsmanship could achieve while honoring the past. But Sam's brilliance didn't stop with motorcycles. He also worked on some of the most advanced sports cars in the world, proving he could handle not only vintage classics, but high-performance, high-stakes machines. His name is quietly linked to elite projects like the Honda NSX, a vehicle known for its advanced engineering and smooth, precise handling. Sam's input helped push the car to its full potential, showing just how far his talents reached. Then there's the Corvette C7.R, a racing beast built for the legendary 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's a car designed not just for speed, but for endurance, precision, and raw power. Sam's work on this project placed him among the top minds in motorsport engineering, and once again, he delivered with his trademark mix of sharp thinking and hands-on mastery. These achievements might not have made the headlines the way his TV work did, but in engineering circles, they mattered. They proved that Sam Lovegrove wasn't just a TV personality who knew his way around a garage. He was, and still is, one of the best in the business, a man who understands machines at their core, who sees possibilities where others see problems, and who approaches every project with patience, skill, and heart. Even off-camera, away from the public eye, Sam continues to work quietly and passionately in his private workshop. Whether it's an old motorcycle rescued from a barn or a custom design meant to break records on the salt flats, Sam gives it the same level of care. For him, it's never been about fame. It's always been about the machine, the story it tells, the challenge it presents, and the joy of bringing it back to life. From vintage bike sheds to Le Mans racetracks, Sam Lovegrove's journey through the world of engineering is nothing short of extraordinary. And though he may prefer to stay out of the spotlight, he's definitely leaving his mark in every engine he's touched, every frame he's restored, and every fan he's inspired. Sam Lovegrove's legacy: quiet, honest, and unforgettable. Even though Sam Lovegrove has stepped away from television, his influence hasn't faded, not even a little. While he no longer appears regularly on Shed and Buried or does public interviews, his work continues to speak for him. These days, he prefers a life away from fame, but that hasn't stopped him from making a difference in the world of classic motorcycle restoration. Sam still shares his knowledge with serious collectors and respected organizations, including the well-known National Motorcycle Museum. One of his more recent projects, a beautifully restored Thruxton, was highlighted by Classic Motorcycle magazine in 2023. They didn't just like it, they called it a technical masterpiece. The level of detail, the care in every part, the smooth finish, it had Sam's signature style all over it. Fans may miss hearing his voice on screen, but Sam's quiet step back is no accident. He never built his name on big headlines or dramatic TV moments. His reputation came from hard work, honesty, and a deep respect for machines. He didn't play games, especially when it came to deals. If something didn't feel fair or right, he'd walk away without hesitation. Some people called him stubborn, but most called him principled. Whether it was refusing to pay too much for a classic BSA Gold Star or standing his ground when someone tried to raise the price on an old petrol pump, Sam didn't back down. He believed in fairness. He believed in doing things the right way, and that only made his fans respect him more. In 2023, a small rumor brought a spark of hope to social media and fan forums. A viral post suggested that Sam might be in talks to return to Shed and Buried. Was it true? No one really knew. There was no official announcement. Still, The idea alone gave fans something they had been missing, a sense of hope. The thought that maybe, just maybe, Sam would be back, digging through sheds, finding hidden treasures, and bringing forgotten machines back to life. Henry Cole, his longtime friend and co-host, has said many times that the door is always open. If Sam ever wanted to return, he'd be welcomed with open arms. But in true Sam fashion, he hasn't said a word. He continues his work quietly, letting others talk while he stays focused on what he loves. And that's just it. Sam didn't walk away because he lost interest. He chose a quieter path. He wanted more time for his family, his craft, and the peace of his workshop in Cornwall. These days, if you're looking for him, you won't find him in a studio. You'll find him in his shed, surrounded by old tools, vintage engines, and the calm sound of restoration. He doesn't do it for attention. He does it because it's who he is. His absence from the show may have left a space that's hard to fill, but in a way, it made his contribution even more powerful. Sam helped shape Shed and Buried into more than just a show. He helped turn it into a tribute to British motoring history, a series that reminded people of the magic found in rusty bikes, forgotten tractors, and dusty sheds. Every time Sam brought a machine back to life, he was telling a story, not just about engines, but about the past, about patience, about beauty in things others left behind. Whether or not Sam Lovegrove ever returns to our screens is still unknown. But one thing is certain: his story isn't finished. His hands are still at work, day after day, far from fame, but close to the heart of what matters most. In that quiet shed, where the light falls softly through old windows, Sam is still restoring the past, one machine at a time. But what does his future hold? The road ahead. Sam Lovegrove's future. Sam Lovegrove has always had a special touch when it comes to old engines and classic machines. Although Sam isn't seen on TV as often these days, he's still hard at work on engineering tasks and restoring old vehicles, his true passion. What lies ahead for him remains a mystery. While people still talk about Sam's work and share clips from his shows, many fans hope he'll come back to TV, or maybe start teaching others what he knows. There's even talk about Sam mentoring young engineers, passing on his practical skills to the next generation of builders and fixers. But no one really knows what Sam will choose next. He might step back into the spotlight again, or he might just enjoy the quiet life in his workshop, surrounded by tools, old engines, and the smell of oil and metal. Either way, people still look up to him. Whether on screen or off, Sam remains a big name in the world of mechanical restoration. Sam Lovegrove is more than just a face from television. He's a true craftsman, someone who uses his hands and heart to bring old machines back to life. He's also an educator, quietly teaching us all about patience, skill, and respect for the past. Through his stories and his builds, Sam has helped keep history alive. Even though his future may seem a little uncertain, his impact is clear. He has reminded the world that there's beauty in bolts and gears and in the people who understand how they work. Whatever comes next, one thing is for sure: Sam Lovegrove will always be remembered as a man who brought old engines and people's imaginations back to life. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.